What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, the official Cliffy J, and I'm back with another video. And before I tell you guys what the video is, I want to give the disclaimer that I am still feeling pretty sick, but I know I got to get this Australian Survivor content out for y'all. I'm dropping this Australian Survivor season ranking here in the big 2026. You guys already know my criteria with these type of lists. I'm looking at the overall entertainment, my personal entertainment, gameplay, the outcome, stuff like that, the cast. All of that matters. We're putting it all in and we're making our rankings. So let's go ahead and get into number 11. I have 11 seasons to rank because I'm doing from 2016 to Australian Survivor versus the World. So let's go ahead and get into it. At number 11, I've got Blood versus Water, and it's pretty clearly the worst season of Australian Survivor. It's the only one that I was actively bored while watching. I know a lot of people don't like All Stars, but this one I was literally bored majority of the season, especially in the late stretch, especially after they did the stupidest non-elimination twist, bringing back all them dang players. It's like the blueprint for how domination can be very unentertaining, especially when it's like not really likable players dominating too. It was really bad. Had no parity and had no real enjoyment, and it hasn't even aged well. It's not like players became more likable, they actually became more unlikable. So yeah, I can't really have this one too high on there. And at number 10, I've got 2016, and I can see why some people would have this one above the next one, but past that, I don't get it. I know this is looked at as a season of 2 halves, and the first half is actually decent. I do think that the pre-merge of 2016 is good. I'm not gonna act like it's not. I enjoyed watching both tribes. I think both tribes kept us interested, especially like Rohan and, you know, Brooke and Flick and stuff, Matt and stuff like that. But you feel me? As soon as we get to the merge, it's chop. It becomes, get rid of the players on the other side, the dominant players on the other side. And yeah, the Brook blind side is cool, but then it just goes back into the predictability and doesn't really pick back up. And Christie's win is just completely imaginary. Like I don't know where the win equity or like good gameplay came from. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, Lee sold, but that shit just didn't make sense. I'm not even gonna sit up here and make it make sense to anybody or try to say it made sense. It didn't. And at number 9, I've got All Stars. And my experience with All Stars is a little different because I wasn't tapped into pregame alliances and all the stuff. I wasn't following the players. So I didn't know who was cool with who and who would have an alliance and things like that. I kind of just went based off of my information of the prior seasons. So of course some alliances were pretty obvious. They were gonna obviously work together. But I don't see why this season gets so much hate. I think that the predictability of this season is definitely there, and it does soil it just a bit, and that does matter to me. But in terms of just watching somebody dominate, if you want to watch someone dominate and actually enjoy it, that is David. David is that person. I think David's a great character. I enjoy watching him on TV in general. So not gonna act like I didn't enjoy this season as much as I did. I think this is the first out of the seasons where most Australian Survivor is pretty good, but this is the first one I'm like, "Alright, this is a good season." I think All Stars are relatively good, but I do agree where it could be considered boring. It has a lot of slow points where they're just kinda running through these boots, especially late game, it's kinda running through these boots. It's all I think it's like like a tale of 2 seasons, to be honest, like 2016. So, yeah, I got it a slightly above 2016 because I enjoyed watching these players dominate more. Because 'cause I'm actually a big fan of Moana, Shawn, and David. I know I've always let it be known that, my GOAT, my glorious GOAT, my queen, Haley is obviously my favorite player in Australian Survivor, but these are like my next 3 for sure, I would say, me personally. And at number 8, I've got Australian Survivor versus the World. I think this is a solid season, but it was legitimately way too predictable. It's more predictable than All Stars. I don't care what anybody says. And it's like it almost seemed kind of rigged. I ain't gonna cap. It did have like a rigged vibe to it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend it had like a rigged aura to it. I gotta give it this though. getting to watch these players that I loved and grew up watching in poverty, Tony, Sari play with players that I really do like a Rob and Lisa, even though she literally just did nothing. Damn it, Lisa. Like it with Kirby and Shawnee and these, like I enjoyed watching these players all play together. And that's kind of where I got rose tinted glasses. Because this maybe should be the worst season, especially with me not knowing how legitimate it is. And it's also a 14-day season, unbalanced tribes. Like it has a lot of things about it that I didn't really like. But I can give it a little extra glaze because of all the big names. And like it aura farms. It definitely aura farms. And at number 7, I got Champions versus Contenders 1. The Champions honestly carried early in terms of entertainment, but once the alliance kinda locked in and the swap happens, the season does lose a little bit of steam. Like, I will say this, the Sean blindside, though it was obvious it was about to happen, it was good, it was great TV. David is always great TV. The David boot wasn't even bad, to be honest. It's just from the David boot to, like, the Janine boot, it was honestly a slog. Like, it has the highest highs, arguably, out of these seasons, so, that's tough to say, but it maybe has the highest highs out of the season so far, and it's arguably the more consistent one compared to a lot of these ones that literally fell off a cliff after one half of the season. And then the end game for sure improves, but it's still not even elite just yet. It's not at the top tier. It's not at the tier where I would say, okay, Australian Survivor seasons are better than US seasons. I still don't understand that when we're around these seasons for sure. Let's go ahead and get into the next. And at number 6, I got Champions versus Contenders 1. This is like one of those seasons that I think is like just solid. The pre-merge isn't great. The Russell stretch kind of hurts. But once it finds its footing, the post merge is actually elite. I ain't even gonna lie. It's like big shot after big shot, fun move after fun move, good maneuver after good maneuver. Shawnee, Sharn, Shane, Benji, Matt Rogers, Robbie genuinely carried hard, and not even carried. They just gave us good entertainment because there was a lot of them actually. I love Rogers' early game arc, but Shane. I called Shane Shawn. No, Shane winning does kind of take a little bit of like the mystique. Because Sean, if she would have won that, after the great game, I think she played a semi dominant game. And then the manipulation, the lies, like, and I know Shane was a part of that. If she would end up winning after that, bruh, this season would have so much sauce, dog. It probably would have been like 2 steps higher, like 2 steps. And I honestly probably would have been edited a little bit differently if she won, also. But yeah, would have been about 2 steps higher, maybe even more. Don't know what the edit would have been then. So yeah, I actually enjoy this season. I have personal enjoyment and like a personal connection because I'm such a big Sharon fan and Matt Rogers fan. Those are 2 of my favorite players. At the same time, the Matt Rogers boot, not even at the same time. Matt Rogers boot actually was good. It was good TV, but it was like, damn, it's so stupid. Don't be dumb. Stop being dumb, guys. Don't let your mans go home. No, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I will even say like that was like a shaky moment for me there. And at number 5, this is gonna surprise some people, I'd assume. I got heroes versus villains. Whoa, right? I know that's crazy to have this one this low. Still a great. This is like when you get to actually elite season. These are literally top tier seasons that are in the conversation for the top 10 best seasons in Survivor overall. That's what I would say. All 5 of these seasons are in that conversation. Whether they make the list, we'll see down the line when we end up doing international Survivor videos overall. Because I have watched a lot of international Survivor. Um, yeah, still a great season, even though it's only at 5. The late game, like when George is kind of cooked, kind of chopped. I ain't gonna lie, because who wants to watch someone that clearly dominated the whole season have no shot at him? That's my thing with George. Bro has no challenge ability, so I knew it was no way he was ever gonna win at the end. And that was what was so sick to watch. Like, bro's killing it, but there's no way he's gonna ever be able to like get the what he deserves. Like, he can't ever have the crown. Um, and I was also starting to get a little bit of fatigue from George at this point. I ain't gonna lie. Like back to back seasons of George dominating, it definitely was like, all right, okay, bro. Kind of getting tired of your stick a little bit, bro. Especially with how cutthroat the guy is. But watching Liz and Matt slime George out was extremely frustrating. And even like the non-elimination on this one where they had I forgot I keep forgetting the old guy's name. but they had them go over there and stuff, and that just kinda lost a lot of sauce for season 2. It kinda made everything kinda obvious how it was gonna go. It gave Matt the Infinity Stones him and Liz needed to, end the season, but at the end of the day, still really good Survivor, definitely elite Survivor. Like, the pre-merge in this season is arguably the best ever in Survivor because of George, obviously, and then even the post-merge was actually very good for the most part. Like, literally, for the majority of it, it was good. Not lots of blind sides, lots of good moves being made, like, it has all the qualities I enjoy and has great character moments too. And at number 4, I got Brain versus Bronze. And, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I really do prefer this I mean, I know this is probably not a hot take. I prefer this George and Haley dynamic on this season, like, excuse me, more like the frenemies vibe, like, where they working together sometimes, not working together, and it's like, does it really make sense? Oh, Imma go for George, get slimed out by George, and then, like, yeah. This season would probably be my favorite season if George would've won, Imma be honest, because I'm a huge Haley fan. I'm the biggest Haley fan ever. Like, I love Haley. I'm obsessed with Haley as a player, right? But she did not deserve to win this season, dog. I ain't even gonna lie. You got slimed out by George. He literally outplayed you. Then you end up beating him at the end. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Even though I know she's an amazing player, I think she's better than George as a player. It just didn't really make a lot of sense. But that just showed how much better her social game was than George's. Like, that really does show that. But this is when George, in my opinion, was at his best, like, in terms of watchability, when he was the most disliked, his cutthroatness, his snakiness, him even being snaked. Like, that was crazy to watch that man get snaked the way he was getting snaked when he was holding it down, being as loyal as he was for players that didn't even have his back, bro. Like, George's arc on this season is crazy. Like, I might even actually, like, I'm not even gonna lie. This one might actually be number 3, bruh. This one might actually be number 3, but I don't wanna be biased toward George and Haley because their dynamic is amazing, and George's arc on this season is just different, bro. Like, George's season was crazy. He played a insanely good game. Obviously, some luck had to play a part in there, but he still played an insanely good, and that's kinda why I guess, him losing to Haley ain't that bad when you realize bro would have been slimed out multiple times. For one, if it wasn't for her, and for two, if it wasn't for Twists and Cara and stuff like that. So I guess I kind of can say like, it kind of makes it. But I guess when you think about that's the two options at the end, two people that didn't really been sent home, two people that luckily got here for real, luckily. Because yes, luck plays a part, but not everybody gets that lucky. Not everybody gets sent home and gets to have a non-elimination twist. Not everybody literally gets sent home multiple times, but have people that randomly decide to flip and give them powers to let themselves go home and stuff like that. Like that doesn't always happen, bro. And at number 3, I got Titans versus Rebels, bro. I just literally recorded this and then I looked and I realized I wasn't recording. I literally feel like I said a lot of good stuff right there. But this is without a doubt the most consistent season of the bunch. I think that's very clear. I see why people believe it's the best. Uh it just doesn't have the exact great moments of like a 2017 or a Champions vs Contenders 1 or Champions vs Contenders no, Champions vs Contenders 1, 2017, and then like a Brain vs Brawn. Like it doesn't have those heroes versus villains, right? It doesn't have those insanely big moments. But it also doesn't have George, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have George, it doesn't have AK, it doesn't have, certain other players. But at the same time, it got Ferris and it got Kirby and it got Valeria and it got these other players that were very good players that also were very good characters that kept it interesting, didn't mind going for revenge. Like this season was had a lot of revenge, like had really strong like loyalties between players. And I just think that this season provides everything you're looking for from a survivor season. I think these next 3 are without a doubt 3 of the best seasons in survivor history across the board. And it's not really anything negative I can say about this. I just think maybe I have a recency bias towards one season and I have nostalgia towards the other seasons. That's why I have the other 2 a little bit higher. Because if you asked me after Titans vs Rebels, I probably would have said this was the best season, honestly. And at number 2, I've got Australian Survivor 2017. And this season, from the beginning, was literally delivering a 6-6 split off rip, Adam tweaking himself out the game, Tarzan gifting his idol just to get voted out. It was chaos in the best way. And the post merge was stacked with a lot of the big players. big move. Only thing that I didn't like was AK's boot. The swaps, like, bro, he would have been amazing late in the game. That would have been great to watch his everything, bro. Bro was literally him, right? But the merge was stacked with big players making good moves and players like Michelle and Jericho surviving when they probably shouldn't have. Uh, Luke, Jericho, and AK are literally top tier entertainment for me personally. I enjoyed their entire arcs, each of them on the show. Obviously, people have qualms, and I even have qualms with some stuff that Luke has said and done outside of the show after the fact. But in the season, this shit was heat, bro. You can't act like it wasn't. This season was complete heat, and it had some like stretches, I would say, that weren't the very best, and that's like around like the swap. You know, when people are finding idols and being sent off and the swaps are stupid and stuff like that. But right when they got back into the merge, it was back to hot fire. It was back to hot fire. So I got it at number 2. And at number 1, could be recency bias, but I got Brain vs. Brawn 2. Don't care what anybody else feels. This is the best one. Both tribes had shifting dynamics and stuff going on from the jump and players that never let up. Yeah, like Miles, Nash, AJ, Paulie, Laura, like Logan, Rich, playing off rip and doing stuff that was aggravating at points. Maybe wasn't always the best move. Sometimes it was the best move. It has everything you want in a season: entertainment, good moves, a good outcome, players playing hard, like like honestly, it and the aggressiveness of the cast during the merge is genuinely what saved what could have ended up being a very bad merge if they just with certain dynamics, kinda just rolled stuff out. Players wasn't just gonna do that. And I think the fact that players just wasn't riding stuff out and they were making moves and getting revenge and all it had all the quality, it had the rivalries. That's every quality I'm looking for in a great season. Um, and the fact that we got Miles, AJ, and Kalen as the final 3, that was my preferred final 3 from so early on in the game, bro, that was crazy, bro. Now I love Paulie. I would've just loved to see him get the end of maybe Caitlyn or something, but still, I got exactly what I wanted from this season. And then Miles' win, it was relatively predictable to a certain extent, but at the same time, he had so many, like, fumbles and bad parts of his game, then him still winning at the end is almost like, "Oh, that's kinda cool, that's kinda cool, low key." Even though Kalen for sure played a better game, which is my only in terms of, like, cerebralness, and it was like, it's hard to say someone that lost played a better game when it wasn't like his game was elite. Like, Kalen's game wasn't elite. But Kalen's game, I feel like, was, like, more consistent, and his game would work on more seasons than Miles' game, for sure. Like, Miles' game is getting him sent home on a lot of seasons, and he should have been sent home at points. But at the end of the day, like, even like him being on the tribe that didn't like him at all, and then him finding the idol and the whole tribe, like, having to didn't perform the challenge because he found the idol. Like, come on now, let's do like, bro, the season is great. It's stuck in my head. I need to honestly rewatch it because it was that good of a season. I've rewatched almost every season except for Titans vs. Rebels, so I haven't watched that one yet again. I haven't obviously watched Brain vs. Brawn 2 again. And then which other one I haven't rewatched? I haven't watched All Stars again, and I haven't watched Blood vs. Water again. I'll never watch those again, more than likely. But you never know. You never know. And, that is it. That's why I got this one this high, man. It was just a great overall season. And that is the end of today's video, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Push the notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new lit banger. I'm gonna try to get well soon for you guys so I can keep pushing out this content. Try to get this one out today and do my best. Peace.